If your kid would rather sit on the couch with a screen than go outside and move their body, then the month of May is going to be your perfect excuse to change that. Because the National Physical Fitness and Sports Month gives us parents a really easy reason to make movement feel more fun and more playful. Hey, Play Pals, welcome back to the podcast. Today, I want to talk about the National Physical Fitness and Sports Month, which happens every May. And I think it's one of those calendar moments that parents can really use in a simple way. Now, I'm not talking about creating a full family fitness plan or signing everybody up for sports tomorrow. It's just taking this moment to make it simple and say, okay, this month we're going to try one new way to move our bodies. Because sometimes we look at our kids today and say they're just not as active as we were. In a lot of ways, that's true, right? Screens are so much easier. Screens are instant. Screens don't require sneakers and weather and coordination and another kid, right? So when sometimes we say go outside or get off the tablet or go move your body, that may sound simple to us, but for a lot of kiddos, that can feel really vague and that could also feel really complicated. So how do we find something in the middle? Well, that's why I like looking at toys as an opportunity to provide the invitation that they need to move. It's one thing to say, let's practice basketball, but it's another thing to say, let's train like Spider-Man. So I pulled together some of those toys that are really going to help kids feel that movement is more inviting. Some are for babies, some are for toddlers, some are for younger kids, some are even for older kids and families, but they have that same idea behind them that let's make movement easier to start and a lot more playful. Before we get started, just a quick note. Some of the products featured in this episode were provided by the brands at my request. I wasn't compensated for mentioning them, and they were donated after the show. So the first one I want to start with is for babies, and it's the Baby Plus Sensory toy from June Garden. They have this dumbbell and a baby kettlebell versions. I mean, come on, so adorable. Now, of course, your infant is actually not strength training, and please do not start tracking your baby's reps, but I do think this is such a fun, cute way to bring the fitness theme into baby play. Of course, it's soft plush, it's safe, it has a built-in rattle, which gives babies that auditory feedback. They get to work on holding and grasping and exploring cause and effect. So while grown-ups might see a funny little dumbbell or kettlebell, it's about having babies get some sensory play and fine motor practice in a way that is perfect for families where fitness is already part of the household. So maybe you work at home and your baby watches you pick up weights or do exercises. Now they have their own little soft version. So it's about making movement and fitness feel familiar and playful from the very beginning. So the next one is from Move to Play, and these are their sports sound effects balls. There is this basketball version, there's a soccer version, a football version, and a baseball version. And I love toys like this for younger kids because they take a familiar sports item and make it more interactive, which can be really helpful when kids are still learning how to throw and catch and all those kind of things. I also really love that it's plush for a lot of kids who might be fearful of sports equipment like that, right? Fearful of the hard soccer ball, basketball, baseball, football. So this is for a way for them to get some of those movements in without the fear of that heavy object early on. So each one has a intelligent sensor inside, and so it can recognize a throw and a catch. So each one of them has about 30 different phrases. They react to kids' motions like this.
You're on fire. And what? You're an all-star.
So that instant kind of feedback can be really motivating for kids. So yeah, it might seem like a very silly sports ball that's cheering kids on, but there's a lot of growth and movement and opportunities for having them move forward. Now, just to let you know, the plush is actually machine washable, which I always appreciate because active toys can get gross. So this was a great one if your child is interested in sports, but maybe not actually ready for a team or organized play. And you can also use it in a really simple way. You can just say, let's see if we can make 5 catches, or can you roll it to me, or can you kick it under the table and across the room towards me? So it gives you an easy way to start movement and start sports without needing a whole game plan. Now, the next one is the Marvel Superhero Trainer from Ultra Pro. This is where the physical fitness theme gets really fun for kids who love superheroes. This one brings in characters like Spider Man and Captain America, Hulk, Thanos, and kids follow voice commands like jump, turn around, and super punch.
Need a quick escape. Climb up into the air vents. You're almost out. Go right. You made it.
So, if you're wondering how this fits into physical fitness, basically it's personal training meets superhero missions with a little bit of parkour energy. So, a lot of kids are not going to get excited if you go say, let's go exercise, right? I mean, honestly, a lot of adults are not excited about that sentence either. But if you say, let's train like Spider Man, now you might be onto something. And that's the power of toys in the sports space. Because your child is not jumping, they're training. They're not just turning around, they're completing a mission. They're not just punching the air, they're being a superhero. And that pretend play layer is what makes movement more exciting and more repeatable. And I especially love this kind of toy for kids who need a little bit more structure. Because some kids do great when you say, go exercise, go play, but other kids need a prompt. They need to know what to do first. They need to know what to do next and how they're going to know when they're done. So this gives them that, and I love how they get feedback from the toy. So again, for National Physical Fitness and Sports Month, this is a good reminder that movement does not have to be or look like traditional sports. It can look like superhero training in the living room. And honestly, if that gets your child moving, I'm here for it. If you want more toy guidance, just hit subscribe or head to playroomchronicles.com/funvault for free printables to download. Now, the next one is the Bubble Plush Yoga Ball Buddy from Hand to Mind. And I really wanted to include this because physical fitness is not always about running and kicking a ball. Sometimes movement is about stretching. It's about breathing. It's about helping us understand how our bodies feel. And this one is a cuddly yoga companion that is like a yoga ball with a cover over it in different animal styles. This one that I have is a puppy. So it's not just this ball sitting on the corner. Now it becomes your yoga buddy. And there are 12 easy to follow yoga cards that teach kids about yoga. And I especially love it as a parent. They're actually a pocket on each one where you can store the yoga cards. So what's great about it is that you can have it out sitting there. The adorableness of it means kids are going to be gravitated towards it. The fact that there is a yoga cards that are stored right in there, they can just pull one out. I mean, they could do more if they want and do a whole yoga sequence, or even just taking one out and being able to interact with it. Or even if they don't use the yoga cards, they're still walking around with it. Maybe they're tossing it, maybe they're rolling with it, they're on it, they're just having movement with it. Win-win all the way. And parents will appreciate that you can remove the cover and wash it, and then you can just deflate it and can put it away if you don't have the space to leave it out all the time. And all in all, it's a really nice option for kids who may not love competitive sports or big active games, because yoga still supports strength and flexibility and body awareness and self-management skills. There's not a lot of opportunities for kids to learn yoga at an early age. And I love how this introduces them to the concept and seeing if they like it before, investing in going to the gym and taking all those yoga classes. So the last one is for older kids and families, and it's the Go Sports Pickle 360 game. And this one is inspired by pickleball, but you don't need a court, which I think is a really big deal because sometimes the hardest part of getting kids active is all the stuff required before you even can begin, right? You need a place, you need equipment, you need people, you need rules, you need everyone to participate. And by the time you get everything organized, someone has wandered back inside and found a screen. So I love how this gives you a more contained way to play. Basically, it's an action-packed 2-on-2 game where players use paddles to spike the ball back and forth. But you know what? You can still play one-on-one. You can even still play by yourself if you wanted to. The idea is that it's just a nice contained way to easily set up and be able to play without needing a lot of rules and equipment. I also love how the design lets you use it on grass, sand, hard surfaces. You can even use it indoors. And it sets up in a few minutes. It breaks down in a few minutes, comes with a travel case. So you can put it away if you don't have the space. You can bring it out when you do. You can bring it with you everywhere. So it's fun to bring to the beach, the park, a cookout, family gathering. And all in all, it feels like a game and not a workout. And sometimes with teens and tweens especially, that distinction matters. And this also works because pickleball style play can be really social and active without feeling as intimidating as some traditional sports. So you don't have to be the best athlete in the world to participate. You can just learn as you go, laugh when you miss, and just kind of keep playing. And that's exactly the kind of movement I love for kids. So the big idea here is that getting kids off screens doesn't always have to start with a lecture, but it also isn't just go outside and play. It's finding that middle ground where the toy is the answer to getting them more active, but making it less about being active and a little bit more about playing. Because again, screens are so easy to start, right? You tap, something happens. So if we want kids to move more, we have to make movement easy to start too. So that might be a ball that talks back when they throw it. That might be a superhero mission that tells them exactly what to do. That might be yoga cards stored in the side of a plush buddy. It might be a backyard game that doesn't require a court. And it could also just be something as simple as saying, let's walk around the block after dinner. So for May, I want you to try one active thing to do with your child. Maybe you choose a sport, maybe you choose an exercise, maybe you choose one of these toys. But all in all, the best part of these is that you don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to be in amazing shape. You don't have to have matching workout clothes. Although if you do, I am here for that. But when children realize moving is going to be an essential part of life, they can learn that it can be fun too. And that trying something active doesn't have to be about being the best. It can be just about showing up and practicing and having fun and feeling good in their body. National Physical Fitness and Sports Month is a great excuse to get kids moving. And I hope this gave you some really great ideas. And if you like this episode, I appreciate a subscribe, like, follow, all the things I'm supposed to remind you to do. But generally, I appreciate it. So you can find me at playroomchronicles.com or on social at Playroom Chronicles. Until next time, happy playing and happy moving.